Boss Fight Gaming. Get ready. Fight!
Welcome back, guys, for part 3 of our Grim Fandango walkthrough. We're going to walk straight into the office over here to get things going. Again, you might want to save it after each achievement. There's not many in this year. This is year 3. There's not many at all. We're going to head to our boat, and things are a little bit troubling. So we're just going to come down these ladders, and then we're going to go in to the engine room at the back over here and start our puzzle. A little bit of a cutscene here, where some goons try and come and kill us. But we're saved by Glottis. He drags us into the engine room. And here we're going to do a bit of a puzzle. Now I noticed when I did this video, I made a little bit of a mistake in cutting the wrong part of the video out. So what we need to do first of all is there's 2 squares on either side of the room with red buttons in. One on the right, one on the left. We need to bring both anchors up, so we're going to go and press those buttons. So first of all, we press the one on the right. And then the anchor comes up. Then we're going to press the one on the left. Assume for a second we actually pressed it there and the anchor came up, because we should have done. What you need to do is move away from the wall a little bit, then press it. The anchor should have come up. Then once it was up, we needed to press that button again to send it back down. So you only saw one part of that, so it needs to be down. Once it is, we need to grab the controls and press right. That way it'll move us away from the dock and the anchor will be tied underneath us, just like you can see on the screen there. Once we've done that, we can let go of the controls. So as long as it was like it was on the screen that you just saw, it should be absolutely fine. We're going to walk over here and we're going to drop this anchor now. So we're going to drop the right anchor, and that will actually drop the right anchor on top of the left anchor. And then we're going to bring it back up, and that will actually bring them back up together. As you'll see, they're entangled together. Once we've done that, we're going to get our scythe, again, whatever you'd like to call it, and we're going to use this to drag the anchors in through the window. Once we can get the controls to work in our favour, that is. Here we go, come on. Right, turn around and walk to the anchors. Right, we're going to put those through the window, to drag the anchors inside, or at least part of the anchor inside. So as long as you're using your scythe, your scythe, you should be able to just pull that through. There we go. Once we've done that, we just need to head over to the other side of the room and press the anchor button again. So put your scythe away. Once the camera allows you to turn around, because it's an absolute nightmare here, we're going to turn around and we're going to walk to the other side of the room and we're going to press the button again. Try not to get too close to the window. Press the button from, try not to grab them either. Press the button from about here, and then that should pull the anchor down, tearing a hole in the side of the ship. Once we've done that, we're just going to go back over to the controls in the middle, on the left hand side should I say, and we're going to put it in full reverse. So we're just going to press down on our controller once we've done that. So grab these, pull down, and that should rip the boat in half, and we should be on our merry way, which starts the next part of the mission. Now this next part is pretty straightforward. We're going to meet a little explorer guy, and we need to ask him some questions to get our achievement. So as long as you follow along with the same options as me, you shouldn't have any issues. What we're going to do is going to let the dialogue play through, and then we're going to move over to the left of the screen where we can see a light in the distance. So once we finish speaking to Glottis, we are going to move over to that side of the screen. Once we do that, Glottis will start speaking again. There'll be a bit more of a dialogue. Let the dialogue play through.
Alright, I'll just quit it with the creep. I definitely.
Then we'll go over again. Now we're going to press on it. I'm not actually sure if I actually pressed on it or not, or if it was coincidence. But then this guy comes and starts walking over, so you need to rush over and speak to him. Now, it's important that you ask him the right questions. to get the achievement tier. So you just follow along with mine and we'll get it right, and you'll get this achievement. So the first one we need to ask is, what are you doing down here? Which is the second option. And then we're gonna choose option 2.
Got sick of waiting around Rubicava for a boat. Figured it'd make better time this way.
Why didn't I think of that?
I'm gonna choose option 2.
Where you're going?
See the moon over there? I just keep it on my right. That way I know I'm heading in a straight line.
But
Oldest trick in the book.
how long?
And we're gonna ask how long you've been down here. Now that's the achievement question.
I wasn't always
So you need to have asked that question to get the achievement. Next thing we're gonna ask is
We've had a little
the
accident.
top question.
Help us out.
Depends on what kind of help you're
I'm not sure after you've asked that question how much this is relevant, but I went through it anyway. And then we ask if we can
Take us to the Pearl.
take to the Pearl. Option 3 that was.
You think somewhere in this ocean there's a gigantic pearl that shines so brightly it can be seen from.
And then again, you're going to talk, there's a bit of dialogue. So you're going to let that play through.
Actually fling themselves overboard to dive for it?
As long as you're following along, guys, you should have no problem getting the achievement. The achievement should have already been earned by the question that we have. I asked, but it doesn't give it to us until the end of the dialogue.
No, really.
So we could choose option 3 there. No, really. Option.
That's the moon! Tell me you didn't come all this way out here to pearl dive the moon.
Could we tag along?
Then we're going to ask, can we tag along with you?
Well, it's a long walk you're talking about.
We don't have any other choice.
Oh, all right then. Lift those knees, stick close to my light, and try to sing in key. This little light of
Then we're going to follow him around.
let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let
It walks off the screen to the right, comes back in, and sort of walks around the ship. Now, I'm not 100% sure if we had to do this part, but just for the sake of it, and because we want the achievement without missing it, we'll just go along with what I did, just so we know we're definitely going to get that achievement. So walk off the screen to the right, come back on a bit higher up, and we're going to come out to the left, back there in the distance. It's a bit of a sort of boring part if you're watching, I'm imagining, but if you are actually playing, then obviously it's a little bit more fun. So once it walks off the screen, it should eventually enter the screen from the left again. The character itself that you spoke to at the beginning will literally walk around that ship over and over again if you let them. What you need to do is when you get back, you need to ask another few questions. Again, we've already asked the question we needed to get the achievement, but we still need to ask a few questions just to trigger the next part of the story. So once we get back, he's going to start talking. We are going to ask him if we can borrow our light, his light, but he says it's attached, so he's not going to let us do that.
Well, I don't want to break your
And there we're going to end the conversation.
Watch out for sea monsters.
Once we end the conversation, he will mention the monsters. In fact, sorry. So he mentions monsters and why he's down there, and he shows you the monsters. And then he will walk over here to the right and you'll get the achievement. Now, you need to quickly chase after him while he's there because you need to grab him. If for any reason he walks away, you will have to wait for him to walk all the way around the ship and back there. Otherwise, just come over here next to him and grab him and pull him. Keep tapping the button until you pull him towards Glottis. Now, sometimes he doesn't pull him all the way over, and he manages to get away. But if he does grab him, just bring him over here, and that will set off the next part of the goal. If for any reason you let him go, you just need to wait for him to walk around the boat again, and then grab him again. Or you can load a save file if you have one that is just before then. You did have the achievement. Anyway, that will do a bit of a cutscene and we'll end up here. We need to follow it around to the right of the submarine, staying on the high ground, and we're just going to follow it around. Follow it all the way around, not to the right there, but just staying on this screen. It's hard to control, as you well know by now. So we're just going to keep going around here without getting stuck in the corner. Lotus is walking around in the circle as well, as you can see. There we go. Right. Still stuck in the guts corner. Here we go. Right. So now we're going to move over here. And when we get to this point, we'll see these red tentacles hanging out the rock. We need to sort of go around these and down the hill. Our little friend here will follow us, but in the process he gets stuck. This will trigger a cutscene, and once the cutscene's triggered, we'll get moved over into this area. Now this is where the next achievements are, so as long as you're following me again, you should have no problem. It is pretty straightforward, this area. It's not as awkward as year 2. So what we're going to do is head straight forward and into the big door, which takes us up the elevator.
That octopus comes back while you're gone.
Poke him in the eye and steal his sub.
Stupid octopus.
So once we get to the top of the elevator, there's a few things we need to do. To avoid getting too confused, I'm going to do them in a specific order. So we're just going to go over up to the right of the screen and follow it around and into this little room here. Now once we go through here, it will trigger a cutscene, and we wake up down here in this room with the 2 little children in the cage. Now this is where we get our first achievement, so we need to make sure that we're choosing the correct options so we can get that achievement. So we're going to come and talk to them.
Hola, angelitos.
I'll bite you, I swear to God. Please don't bite anyone else.
They think we're a big bad boss, so we're going to have a conversation about this. But when we get a question to choose, we're going to go down and choose the option, you bite me and I'll sue your parents. If for any reason that wasn't one of the options, you will need to choose one of the others, then choose that option as the second option. If you bite me, I'll sue your parents. That'll make the children cry and you will get the achievement. After that, we need to ask some specific questions to end this sort of dialogue correctly. So we're going to say next. I believe it's option 1.
Why do you want to bite me?
You're the mean
Yep,
new
option
boss.
1.
Mr. Hurley said you were meaner than him. He said you had a bone saw.
Let the dialogue play through as always.
Listen,
And we're going to go down to option
I'm here to
3.
help.
There's really not much more room in here. Your hands are too big to make light bulbs.
I'm here to help you get out of this cage.
And option 3 again.
Do that. We have to stay here and take care of Mitch.
So there is a little bit more dialect here, guys, but once that's happened, another question will appear and we can sort of end the dialogue. We do need to come back to these kids at one point, but for now we're just going to let them be. We're going to head back out over here, and this time we're going to go back around to where we were before. And in this room, we're going to keep messing with the cigarette ashtray there. We're just going to keep clicking on it until she burns her stockings. So just keep pressing on the ashtray to turn it. There's a little bit of a timed thing to do it, but it's pretty straightforward. As long as you keep turning it, eventually she will burn herself. So just keep clicking on that. And there you go, she's burnt herself. What she'll do now is she'll take her stockings off and put them in the bin, which is behind you, but we don't pick them up just yet, just leave them in the bin for now. Okay guys, so once we've got her to burn herself and put the stockings away, we need to come around the back of it and actually click on it so we can have a conversation. We're going to choose option 1, once we started the conversation.
I just want to get us both out of here.
Then why don't you just
And we're
ask
just going to
your
choose
husband
these
to help?
options to sort of start a dialogue. Then we're going to choose the top option again.
Can't believe you think he's my boss. He's my arch enemy.
I think he's
As
your
long as
boss,
you're
and I
going through
think
the
he's my
same
good
ones as
friend.
me, you
We
should
don't
get the
deserve
achievement.
to
Again, I'm not
find out
100%
about
sure
our
if you need to
relationship.
do all this conversation, but I did, so it's probably best you just
Sorry I am
go along
partying
with it
as your
too.
boyfriend.
Again,
I
the top
don't
option
trust
there I
you.
chose.
I'm not sure I trust you about that, but I'll tell you one thing that would convince me.
Name it.
Give me your
So as
gun.
long as you're following along, you should be fine.
What?
Again,
How
top
much have you got
option.
of a gun?
So
You
so
work
far
for
it's
the
been the
most
top
heavily
option
armed
for each one.
organization in the land of the dead. Don't try to tell me they didn't issue you a gun.
I
This
don't
time I
work for
chose
the
the
most
second
heavily
option,
armed
that I don't work for them.
organization anywhere.
You know, you're right. There are those rumors of that Revolutionary Army that's
So
been
that
stockpiling
was the second
weapons.
option.
Actually, them I work for.
Manny, why don't you come back?
And that
I'm
will
willing to deal straight with me,
continue
okay?
with the dialogue, and then I will end the dialogue. And we need to click on her again to get the conversation going again. So as long as you sort of stood behind like this, you should be able to get the conversation going.
Ready to hand over your
Now this is where we're going to get the achievement, guys.
Right.
So you need to be asking certain questions.
They didn't.
You're going to choose the
issue
top
me a
one there.
gun.
What, are you on probation? I'm not buying this, Manuel. Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to...
Hey, about
And that will end the conversation again. You start the conversation up again.
Right.
And this is the one where we get the achievement. So that's the one that we need to choose. I think we need to talk, top option. And then I have lots of explaining to do.
Save your breath.
Now this is the correct path to get the achievement. So next one we're going to choose is that one, the bottom one.
Ooh, remember to get a fast one so you
And
can
that
water
should,
ski,
I
alright?
believe, end the conversation with the achievement. So as long as you followed all those options there, guys, there should be no reason why you didn't get the achievement. Again, I'm hoping you're saving after each one of these, so if anything does go wrong, you can just load that save up. So as I recommended before, after every achievement, just save it. And that way, if anything goes wrong, you can just load up from the last achievement. As long as you're doing them in order, the order I'm showing you, there should be no reason why you can't sort of correct any mistake that happens while we're trying to get these achievements. Anyway, so once that achievement's out of the way, we need to leave the room. In fact, no, we don't, guys. We need to go back in that room. Sorry. We're going to go straight for another achievement. We're going to go into this office here. She's going to tell us we don't have an appointment, but we're going in anyway. Because we need to speak to Dawn. Again, as long as you go through the same dialect as me, you should get the achievement. When she finishes speaking, we're just going to head in. And we're going to interrupt Dawn's music session. Banging on the table.
Taking your first coffee break?
And we're going to have a conversation with Don here.
You know, if
So
I
just
ever
gonna
talk to my boss Hector that way.
Let the dialogue play through. And then we're just going to choose a few options. The first one we're going to put, you kill my best friend.
Demon? Manny, you can
Again, I'm
use
not too
me
sure
as a
about how
driver, like
relevant
you
these
did
are,
in
but since I got them using these options again,
But you
it makes
can't
sense just to
start
do
things
these
like
ones,
that
same as me.
friends. It's
So we're just going to let that play through.
What are you doing?
Then we're going to choose the first option again, so it's the top of the world achievement, then the top one again, then the top one again. And we're just sort of going to flick through the dialogue. Just keep pressing A now and the dialogue should play through. And it'll lead us to getting our achievement.
Don't tell.
Just keep pressing A there. All the way through. All the way through the dialogue. Keep pressing A and A again. Just basically skipping the dialogue at this point. You can skip through, so don't be afraid to do that. Again, you've made a save, or you should have done, so if anything goes wrong, you'll be able to get the achievement. Once he laughs and puts his headphones on, the achievement should pop at the bottom of the screen, and we should be good to go again. So after scratching our face and having the achievement, we are going to leave the room. So once we've left the room, we're just going to go straight forward and we're going to come around here and follow it down. And then we're going to go into the elevator. The elevator should go down. Now we're going to follow the lights on the left, not the right. I went up there by mistake, so we're just going to come down here. I thought it was right, but it wasn't. It was actually to the left of the screen. So when you're at the bottom of the screen, just go to the left there, follow it around. I hope you saved it after the achievement. If not, it might be a good place to save it right here, because we're about to get another one. We're going to click on this guy, our old friend, the one that we kind of used as bait before. We're going to have a conversation, and we're going to flick through the top options. I'm just going to keep flicking through them. Just keep tapping on those top options. And the achievement should pop. Once the achievement pops, just end the dialogue by choosing the bottom option. Then you can leave. Again, if for any reason that didn't work, just load up the save and try playing around with the options, but there should be no reason why flicking through that shouldn't get you the achievement. Once you've done that, we're going to head back up here, and we're going to head straight in. There's just a few things that we need to do here. So once we're back in, you can save it there if you like, as long as you've just got the achievement, that is. We're going to come around here and we're going to speak to the little boys again, because this time we need them to drop us a little pickaxe. So we're going to play through the conversation, we're going to let them talk, have a bit of dialogue. Closes the cage himself. And we're going to come around the side and we're going to actually start a proper dialogue with them. And we're going to choose the top option.
Yeah, we do. So stick him up.
Let me see it.
He doesn't have one. He's such a liar. Oh yeah, well you're stupid.
Once this dialogue's played through in regards to the top option,
your light bulbs all smell like boogers. Ha! Nobody thinks you're funny anymore.
the kids are going to start fighting, calling each other names, etc., etc.
Yeah, cause I'm especially smarter than you. In your dreams. In your baby bed that's all wet cause you wet in it. Shut up! Bed wetter.
Once they finish fighting,
No.
then we can continue with the dialogue.
What? Miss Cola.
Hey, no fighting, no biting.
He started, did not. Did too.
We are going to continue the dialogue. And we're going to choose my hands are not too big or are too big. I can't remember the exact one, but something about my hands being too big. And then we're going to put I just don't have little hands option.
Here, take my hammer.
And he should chuck one of the little tools that has the little pickaxe. Once that's done, we can end the conversation.
Okay, back to work.
Again, we don't really need to do much else here. As long as you've chosen the right options about having little hands or your hands being too big, then we can come over here and we're going to pick up the pickaxe. The micro pickaxe, that is. Once we've done that, we're going to go back around here. Again, try not to walk into the wall with the tank controls. And we're going to go down again. We're going to head back down to our friend again, so back towards the screen and to the left. Follow it down. And this time, with the pickaxe in our hand, we're going to approach him. And he's going to give us a tool in replacement of the little pickaxe. So we get this nice tool instead of the pickaxe. Again, it's up to you if you want to save at that point. Then we're going to head back inside. It's a little bit of backwards and forwards here, guys, but as long as you're following along, you shouldn't have no issues. We're going to head back up inside, up the elevator again, and this time we're going to follow it round to the right. So once you get to the top of the elevator, make your way through and to the right. Once we're in here, we're going to go follow it around, and we're going to go over to the bin, because we know that's where the leggings are. And pick up the leggings, and then we're going to head back
That's nice, Manny, but you're not
outside.
my boss, so
She's going to be able to start a bit of a
couldn't
dialogue, but we don't really need to
Excellent.
go into detail with that. We've got the stockings now. We're going to head back this way, and we're going to head back down into the water, and we're going to go and take the stockings to our little friend again. And in trade, in place of, that's the word I was looking for, in place of the tights, we will get a gun with no ammo. So a gun with no ammo. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to take out the stockings when I can. Chose the wrong option, there we go. Take out the stockings, walk it over to him. It is a little bit temperamental, this part with the stockings. So if for any reason he doesn't start the correct conversation, just put the stockings away, put them back out, and start the conversation again. And he should be really happy and give you the gun. If for any reason that doesn't work, just exhaust the conversation with him about trade, and then do the same thing again. Take the stockings out and start talking. Once you've got the stockings, we're going to head back this way and follow it around, and we're going to go to the right here. Now on this part, the conveyor belt may be going down or maybe going up. We need it to be going up, so if it's not going up on your screen, you need to pull the lever to make it go up. If it is already going up, just leave it. Once you've done that, we need to climb in and make our way up to the water surface. So climb on it if it's going upwards towards the water surface, and then we're going to head up to the top of the water surface ourselves. So once we come out of the water and we're at the top of the conveyor, we're just going to head to the left and up these set of stairs. That will put us in the crane. Now when we're in the crane, we need to move from the left to the right all the way around to the other side. So just press left and right. It is a bit sticky, controls, so just wiggle them and get it to go around. Don't press up or down because that will drop the crane. Once you moved it all the way down, round, press down to drop the crane onto the beach, and you can leave the crane. Once you've done that, come down and head down the ramp when it lets you. Again, the controls are a bit funny. So once you've lowered the crane, head down onto the beach, just come around and go down. You had to have pushed the crane all the way to the other side to have done this. Once you've done that, just leave, come down here, and this time we're going to use that same tool we got from that guy under the sea, and we're going to use it to cut the chain. So there it is. We're going to switch to that, and we're going to use this magic drill, whatever its actual name is, to cut the chain. Once we've done that, the crane itself should break. Parts of it should go falling into the sea. We can then put this away and head back to the crane. Just gonna head back to the crane. Try walking in a straight line with the tank controls. Not the easiest thing, as you know. Head straight up here. Up to the back to the crane. Slowly and steady as she goes. Once we get to the top, we're going to go back up to the left and up the ladders. Up the steps, should I say. Oh, put that away before I add. Go up here, and then now we need to lower the chain straight away again. That'll put it inside them metal grinders, and then once we've lowered it, we're going to actually raise it. As I mentioned, that should pull them metal spikes out. So now those metal spikes should just be on the beach, and we should be back inside the crane. We need to get the crane to move to the other side, but again, the controls are an absolute nightmare. So you just need to press left and right until you manage to get the crane to go all the way back around to the other side. Just try and use your magic. As you can see, there we go. Get all the way to the other side, and then we can leave. The chain will drop, or I'm not sure if it drops automatically. If not, just press down. Make the chain drop at the top of the conveyor belt. Then we need to get out the crane, and we need to head back onto the conveyor belt. We're just going to head down the conveyor belt a little bit, and we need to get off the conveyor belt. Again, I get stuck here a little bit due to the tank controls. Once we get there, we're going to just drop off the other side, get down as we usually do, and this time we're going to pull the lever again so that the conveyor belt goes down the hill. Goes down, should I say. That'll pull the chain all the way down, as you can see. Once it reaches the end, we need to pull it back so that the chain scrunches up. So just press on the lever again. So once it scrunches up and it gives us control of our character again, so it's scrunched up, we need to do it again the other way. That will then wrap itself around the anchor and allow us to do our job. So what we do now is we need to actually do it again when it lets me. Walking out the screen here, press it again when it lets me again and walk around. Here we go. Right, there we go. So press it again so it's going up. And then we're going to climb back in and head back to the crane again. So just climb back on the conveyor belt. Absolute nightmare controls, as you know. Climb back on. It's probably just me. I really struggled with them. You guys probably are finding it easy. I really struggle with the tank controls. But yeah, go straight to the top of the chain, to the top of the conveyor. Go up there, and then it should automatically trigger a cutscene. If not, go up into the cockpit of the crane and press up to bring the chain up, and that should start a cutscene with Glottis bringing you a nice present. So once you've done that part, it should spawn you on the beach next to the spike things again. We're just going to head back up the ramp and back into the crane. So just go up the steps again, back into the crane, and then we need to go around again. Again, apologies, it is a bit of a nightmare, so just follow it around. Once it's to the other side, we're going to get out, we're going to head back down the conveyor belt. So just follow it down, and once you get to the bottom, you just climb out again. And then we're going to do the next part of the mission. So we're just going to head this way, then back up the elevator. Once we get up the elevator, there's a few little things we need to do. So first of all, we're going to head around this way and back into the office. And we're going to give the gun, yep, that's it, to this character here. That'll start the dialogue, the animation, and trigger the next part of the mission. So hopefully you've done everything else before this point, otherwise you may have missed the achievements. Hopefully you've been saving it after each achievement, and we can get going. A cutscene happened and we start in this room. We're going to leave this room, follow it around, and we reveal a safe there on the wall. This can be a little bit tricky, but I assure you it's really easy once you know what you're doing. We're going to use this tool again on the safe door, and that will reveal the locking mechanism of the door. So just use this tool on the door here, and that reveals the locking mechanism. Now we need to turn the wheel in the middle to get the locking mechanism to line up with the lock itself. So the straight part of the locking mechanism, there's 4 locking mechanisms that turn around. We need them to be straight flush with the block on the right part of the door, the lock itself. So we're going to click on the wheel so you guys can see what we're doing. I'm actually clicking on the lock here, I don't mean to do that. Click on the wheel. No, you don't need to do that either. It doesn't matter if you do that, it just sort of resets the lock. So click on the wheel. Once we've got a grip on the wheel, what we need to do is we need to turn the wheel to line up the mechanism. So we're going to turn it one way so they all move together, and then once they've done that and they're straight on the right hand side, we're just going to move it slightly back the other way so the last one can line up. So again, they move them all together. Once you've got them all together, you just move the other way slightly till it's flush like that. You can press X to make sure you got it right. He mentions how flush and accurate it is. Once it's like that, we need to get our scythe, the Sith, and we need to put it in the locking mechanism itself. So the right hand side of the mechanism is needed to be flat with the right hand side of the block, which is flat. We can put our scythe in there, and then we need to pull the mechanism, the door mechanism, and it should release. You then enter.
Alright, Mitchie, you can come out now.
After a little bit of a dialogue, you can enter. and close the door behind you. Now it's important that you close the door. I know it sounds stupid after you just went into a safe that somebody else has locked in, but shut the safe. And then we need to take out our Sith again. So just go into your inventory when you're ready and take out your Sith. And once you've got this out, we're going to use it on the yellow part of the door. That will open a secret area and allow us to continue on. She'll come out, have a bit of a dialogue with you, but she's not very happy that you've closed the door behind you. So we need to find another way out of here. Okay, so once you've done that and the dialogue's over, you need to head into the other room where the tiles, the blue and white tiles are on the wall. So just head in here. She'll say this is her room, you need to get your own. But we're going to use our Sith on the pipes on the ceiling. So if we head back to the middle of the room, you'll see Manny look up slightly. When he does, you're just going to press A to use the Sith, the scythe on the pipes, and he will turn on the water. Now he thinks he's got a master plan and that you're going to be able to swim out of there, but you quickly find out that the water's too slow. So what you need to do is you need to move over to the pipe on the right hand side and actually turn the water off. Now you need to watch carefully where the water goes. So watching where the water goes, we are going to turn off the pipe. So here we go, we're going to turn off the pipe, and that reveals to us where the water flow is leaving the room. Once we've got that bit out of the way, we need to head back into the other room and go and pick up the axe. Now the axe in the other room is what we use to actually break the tile and be able to leave via the same way the water did. So grab the axe and drag it into the other room. It is a bit of a nightmare trying to drag this because your controls are all over the place. Again, good luck. So yeah, once you manage to figure it out, drag the axe into the other room and put it on top of the tile in the middle, not the blue one, the white one just next to it, but put the head of it, press A, and you'll pick it up and smash the tile underneath it. Manny will attempt to move it out of the way. Let's just pretend he moved it out all the way so we can actually get in there. And that is how we escape the room. There'll be a bit of a dialogue, and then it should go to a cutscene. It's a bit of a dialogue about the boxes and what's inside and how they're supposed to work, etc, etc. And then it should go to a cutscene. Once we get through the cutscene, you'll be on the sub at the back here. This is the next part of the achievement, so I recommend saving it here. And then we're just going to take out our scythe, and we're just going to keep walking over to Don and pressing A to use the scythe on him. He will keep pushing us away or flinging us back, and we'll basically just keep doing this. I believe it's a total of 9 times. Just keep heading towards him and pressing A. On the 9th time, he'll say to stop showing off in front of the lady, and you will get the achievement. So just, as I mentioned, just keep going forward and pressing A on him. For any reason, you shouldn't head towards the glass eye at the back because you may accidentally trigger the next part of the mission. So what you need to do is just keep walking forward, pressing A on Don for a total of 9 times until that achievement pops. Again, keep swiping at him. As soon as you stand back up, skip the bit of dialogue and keep pushing forward. And as I mentioned, after the 9th time, it's either 9 or 10 or 8. I'm pretty sure it's 9 though. Just keep moving forward, and once you've done that for the 9th time, he will say, I skip through what he says so you don't really hear it, but that will get you that achievement. Not long now, there we go. Right, so once you've got the achievement, that's all you really need to do for that part. We need to turn around and use the scythe on the eye. Don't do this until you've got the achievement, guys, because this will trigger the next mission, or the next year in fact. So once that happens, there's a bit of a cutscene and we end up at the train station.
Glottis, where'd you go this time?
So we get an achievement for completing year 3, as we do at the end of every year. Like at the beginning of every new year, it is a good time to make a save. Once we make a save, there is like 4, maybe 5 achievements right here in the station that we need to get. Each one of them are missable. So save it there and get ready to get these next achievements. Once you've saved it and you're ready to move on, we're going to make our way down the steps towards the right hand side of the screen. So once we've saved it, as I mentioned, we're going to head down to the right. Make sure you don't go any other directions at the moment because you may miss an achievement by doing so. Just follow it down to the right and it should automatically put you in this sort of garage area, and where the cable cars are and Glottis is lying on the floor. It will be a bit of a dialogue, and they will talk to you about Glottis' health and why he's not being responsive, etc, etc. We're just going to sort of skip through this dialogue, but being very careful not to click on Glottis at all. Do not click on Glottis. Just have the conversation with these guys. Once we've done that, we're going to go quickly talk to the guy on the left. That'll start a bit more dialogue. So he'll talk to him and the other guy that's there. It'll be a bit of a conversation. Once this conversation's over, we need to go close to this little guy and make sure we're only facing towards him. Do not click on Glottis. Click on this little guy and it will start a conversation. If for any reason you clicked on Glottis, you have missed the achievement, so you will need to reload the load point, the save point, come back in here and just speak to the little guys. Do not click on Glottis. Let the conversation play through. We're going to choose option 1 first. Once the conversation gets to that point, the top option, can you cure him? I'm not sure if these really matter, but this is the way I did it, so again, probably just best that you guys follow suit. We're going to let that play through, and then when we get to another option, we're going to choose option 1 again. Again, let the conversation play through. Each time just choosing the first top option. Again, top option. As long as you're choosing that top option in each one, should be absolutely fine. But again, I'm not 100% sure it actually makes a difference in this conversation. I think we just had to talk to them, and it sort of leads to that question anyway. Once that's done, achievement unlocked. We're free to leave. Make sure you guys save it here. Again, just save it after each achievement and you should be absolutely fine. Once you've done that, we need to head to the top of the stairs. Don't go any other direction again because you may miss an achievement. So once you've done that, head up the stairs and you'll have a bit of a cutscene with this guy, and you'll see one of your old friends in the cutscene. We're going to walk inside here and we're going to head over to the middle of the room where our other friend is walking around in circles. We're going to try and start a conversation with him, and it sort of just talks through the dialogue. You don't really need to do anything here, you don't need to choose any specifics. He'll just keep talking through. So let the conversation go through. He must love walking around in circles and water. Once that conversation's sort of through, he will start to walk towards the tunnel at the back over there. So let him kind of walk on. You can keep pressing A like I did. It doesn't really speed things up, but I am impatient, so I was there tapping A. Once you get over close to the door, you should get an achievement. And to get another achievement as well, we get 2 achievements right here. So once he walks through here, the achievement should pop. We need to quickly try and follow him. So try and follow him through the tunnel. We're not allowed to go through there, but just by coming over and clicking on the tunnel and trying to get through there ourselves, we should automatically trigger another achievement, and that's called Walk Out of This World. That's for trying to follow him in order to his commitments, but we don't end up leaving, we end up staying. Once you've done that, we can just leave. So that's another 2 achievements right there. So yeah, we can just leave by the same way we came in. Just as you're about to get on the stairs, there's a little bit of a dialogue. He'll give you something, and then you can head down the stairs. So there's a bit of a cutscene there. Head down the stairs. Now this time we're going to come down towards the screen. So follow these steps down, and we're going to see an old familiar face. Try and open this black casket. We'll see our old friend Bruno, I believe his name was. So we're just going to click on the conversation. You can either let it play through or whatever you guys want if you're trying to get through quickly or not. He's going to chuck a mug at you, which is very important for the mission. So let the conversation play through. He gets fed up and he walks off. Right there, you should get an achievement. I unfortunately messed up my save file, so it didn't pop on screen, so I put that little reminder there. You should get an achievement right there. Once you've done that, we're going to head to the top here, and we're going to head back inside. We're going to head down the steps and into the kitchen. Now we need to click on the cup rack on the right hand side. You might click on the cup rack, you might open the drawer. Either way, we need to do both anyway. So we need to put the cup on the cup rack, then we need to try and open the drawer. It's a bit fiddly. So once you've got it to open the door, you need to try and click in the drawer to get the rag out. Again, fiddly. So just try your best. And once you've got the rag, you need to leave the room. Leave the room and go over to the oil can with the rag in your hand. This will douse the rag in oil. Manny makes it clear that he doesn't really want that in his pocket, but he puts it in his pocket anyway for some reason, just as you click on the toaster. So click on the toaster with the wet rag in your hand. He'll put it away, and then he'll take it back out and put it inside. That will in turn set the kitchen on fire. The fire will go onto the mug, and the mug will fly around the room, and they realise this will be a perfect fuel for a rocket that will save Glottis. So they use that as fuel. It starts a cutscene and you end up back in one of the older areas. What we're going to do straight away once you've done that is head down towards the screen and head towards the tattoo area that we were in previously. So just come down towards the screen, head towards the tattoo guy, come down here, follow it around, as same as before, same as last time we were here, and head into here. Once you head inside, we just need to come in here for one thing and one thing only. The game gets a little bit more simpler now towards the end, thankfully. We're just going to click on this cabinet over here, where we're going to get access to some nitrous oxide. Or is it liquid nitrogen actually? Liquid nitrogen, ignore me. So we get that, we put it away and we can leave straight away. We're going to need that in a little while. Once we leave, we're just going to head back up. Keep following it up. And then we're going to move over to the left. And follow it up and around. Once we get to the circle part in the middle, we need to head to the left. When we headed to the left, it takes us to where the bees used to be. We need to keep following it around and head towards the lighthouse. And once you move to the new area, it probably was a good point to save. If not, you can save it just before you enter the lighthouse. And right here, we get another achievement. Again, I had messed up my save file, so put that on the screen there just to remind you guys that achievement should have popped right there. We can leave now. I'm going to follow it around. Keep following it around. You can either go straight across there towards the dock or do what I did and sort of go the wrong way, the slow way. I realised afterwards that I'd gone the wrong way. We'll just keep following it around. And then we're going to go towards the dock where the captain usually is. So just to the right of the screen there. We're going to talk to him about the ship that we managed to secure. He's not going to be very happy that we got rid of it. So he goes on his merry way to try and find it. And we're going to pick up his bottle boat, his ship in a bottle. We need to pick up the ship in the bottle and then we needed to head back over to the blue casket. So go from the right to the top and head into the blue casket. Once we head into the blue gasket, we need to head back into the kitchen, and in the barrel in the kitchen we need to use the bottle on it. This will fill the bottle with the same drink we knocked the sailor out with earlier. So just keep trying to click on it and you will fill the bottle. There you go. Once the bottle's filled, we can leave. We're going to head back out. And she starts to talk to you about coming with you. She says she's going to meet you somewhere else. Don't know why she wants to come along. But anyway, so we leave and we head back across here. And then towards the screen at the bottom. Don't go that way, that's the wrong way. Head towards the screen, that's it. There you go. Once we're in here, we're going to take out the bottle and we're going to give it to Glottis. This bottle, the blue bottle. Give it to Glottis. And he absolutely goes crazy for it. For some reason he does a double turn. He did that every time. As I mentioned, I messed up the save file, so I had to come back and play it all over again to get the recording for you guys. But both times he did a full 580, is it? Yeah, I'd say 580. I'll guess. We'll go 580. Anyway, he gets excited. He runs to go and find the barrel that you've just got it from. And he comes back feeling a little bit sorry for himself. All you need to do here, I went and had a look at where I should have been going, but I was a little bit early. You don't need to come into here just yet. What you need to do is you actually need to click on Glottis. So you don't even need to come in there just yet. Click on Glottis and he will have a conversation about him feeling a little bit sensitive. That'll force him to be sick. He's sick in that room. Might be important for you once he's sick for you guys to save it. If you didn't save it after the lighthouse achievement, then maybe save it now. So once he's finished being sick and the conversation's over, you might want to save it right now. And then once you have done, get out the nitrogen, the liquid, the frozen stuff that freezes stuff, and tip it onto the sick. That freezes the sick and allows you to cross it. Now this part's important because we need to press X on the vehicle before we go around the back. Come over to the side of the wheel and press X on it. He will have a bit of a joke and that will unlock the next achievement. If you don't press X and you need to press X instead of A because that will make you look at it. If X doesn't work, try A, but I'm pretty sure it should be X. Once you've got the achievement, you can come around the back, trigger the explosives, and that will start the next mission. You will leave and end up back here. Now, this is the next part of the mission. So what we need to do is we need to come over to this flowery body on the floor. You may have watched the cutscene. Obviously, I skipped it. Pick up the bone and put that away. Then we need to head to the trash can, the bin, the garbage can. Pick up the pitcher and put that away. Once we've done that, we need to just click on the radio, which will trigger the next achievement. Hopefully you saved it. It doesn't really make too much difference as long as you're following along. Either saved it before you clicked on the radio or save it after. As long as you're doing one or the other, it should be absolutely fine. There you go, achievement unlocked. Once you've got the achievement, what we're going to do is we're going to walk over here and we're going to give the letter that we have. You can try and click on the pigeon first, but he bites you. You need to take out your letter that you previously got. I need to give it to the pigeon. Once you give that to the pigeon and he accepts it, we need to go back into our pocket and take out the picture of the soldier. Give the picture of the soldier to the pigeon and he should fly off in search of that. So once that's done, should be a cutscene and we are now free to leave this room. Once we try and leave, it'll do a little bit of a trigger of a cutscene, not a proper cutscene, but sort of on-screen scene. She'll talk to you and then she'll leave first and then you can quickly follow behind. So just when you're ready, just leave the room. Just follow it up to here and there'll be a little bit of a cutscene. And you'll take the remote control from Glottis for messing around with it. Then you need to head up the ladder on the left after putting away the controller. Head up the ladder. Once we're to the top, we need to head straight forward and up the other ladder. Don't go in the casino just yet. I'm not even sure you can. I never tried. Just go straight up this ladder. And that should put us in the staging area. Once you're in the staging area, it's pretty simple. We just need to come over to the coffee jug on towards the center of the screen, the middle of the screen there. Bit of a conversation going on. Just come pick up the coffee jug. Once we pick up the coffee jug, we need to go and climb the ladder behind the guy that's sort of facing towards us. So just come behind him here, climb the ladder. Then we need to sort of get above his head and tip the coffee on him. That should start a bit of a fighting scene and they should leave, giving you the perfect opportunity to take their job. So he's not very happy you've tipped the coffee on him. He actually blames the other guy. He runs off and his friend follows. Come back! Once you've done that, you're safe to go back down the ladder with the coffee jug in hand. So yeah, just go down the ladder and go and put the coffee back. Try to put the coffee back on the table. There you go. Once you've done that, go into this room here and get transformed.
Hey kid, this is your luck. We got. Now don't go too far.
There we go. Now you can now go back up the ladder. Make sure you go back up the ladder when it lets you. There we go. Once you get to the top, you need to take out the bone that we collected before. And put it in the grinder here. Pick up the grinder by pressing B and then put it away and take it with you. So we've got the bone in the grinder, then we take the grinder away, take it with us. We're going to head back down here and down the ladder again. Again, we don't need to go in the casino just yet, so just ignore that. Head back towards the screen. So yeah, come towards the screen. Ignore the casino for now. Come down the big ladder again. Now I'm not sure if this next part's important. I was trying to figure out what I needed to do with the grinder, and what I did, I'm not even sure if you need to do this, but lift up the vehicle using the button. And then take out the grinder and move to the front and sort of try and use it on the car. It sort of does something, it kind of triggered something, or so I thought it did. I don't even know if you need to do that, but I'd do it just in case. Have a little bit of a play with the grinder near the front of the vehicle, put that away, and then you need to go around the back and go down the right hand tunnel. Once you're in here, you need to retake out of the grinder, and you need to use the grinder at the front of the large entrance there. So just here, you'll know when it's right because it'll tell you that you can go through. There's a specific place you need to sort of use it. So just have a little mess around at the front of this entrance. Once you get the right spot, it should allow you to go through. Just have a bit of a move around. Get as close as you can. Take out the grinder again. Once you get the right spot, that's not it. Have a little bit of a move around now. There we go, that's the right one. So once you've done that, it should automatically trigger a cutscene. Once you've got through the cutscene, you need to use your... You need to use the button, the controller, to lift the vehicle up, which allows you to climb onto this balcony. Walk over the balcony, start to climb down, the alligator will turn around. Once it starts to turn around, you need to climb back up, and we need to use the button again, the controller again, to lower the vehicle onto his tail. So you needed to raise it to climb onto the ledge, walk along the ledge, try to climb down, then lower the vehicle on the alligator's tail. Once you've done that, you are able to climb down. If for any reason you dropped off the ledge, you can just sort of start the area again by walking out and in. Once you've done that, head towards the screen and into the shop. The florist. So yeah, just head inside when you can get the controls to do for you. There'll be a bit of a dialogue, and once this sort of dialogue is going through, we need to take out our scythe and use it on the big cotton ball wall thing above the door. So just turn around and sort of look up towards it. It should automatically look up for you. Then just use your scythe on that. That'll pop that down, and then we'll be asked to leave. So that does that automatically. It will force you out the door. Once you've left, just completely put the scythe away and walk straight back inside. Once you're back in, it'll be a different story altogether. The guy behind the bar is a bit more happy. I don't know why, but he gives you a gun and ammunition. Just what we need. So you'll take the gun and ammunition. Don't know why I can't say that right now, but yeah. So we'll take that and we'll head out the door. That'll trigger a cutscene. We need to climb back up the ladder again. But this time we're going into the casino. So once that cutscene's over, climb the ladder, come into the casino, and you end up coming up through this secret door. Once we're in here, we need to head down onto the main floor. And we need to talk to the guy in the jacket on the left. We find out it's one of our agents. There's a bit of a dialogue between the two. Once that's happened, the dialogue's over. We need to go and speak to Miche on the right there, the lady on the right in the green coat. So once this conversation is done, and he tells us about his little trick, etc, etc, we need to go and speak to Miche, the lady in the green dress. I think that's her name anyway. So come and click on here. She'll ask you if you want to put the blanket over the little guy's head. We need to put the blanket over the little guy's head. Controls, I got a little bit confused there and walked away. But we do need to go put that blanket on his head. So once you get the chance, come back. Try not to walk up the stairs like me. Come back and talk to her to put the blanket on the guy's head.
Meche, it's me.
Go through the conversation. Let the conversation play through. And you should, when it lets you, put the blanket on the little guy's head. There we go.
Hey, is that you, young lady? I'll get you.
He'll scrumble around a little bit, trying to escape. But what we need to do is quickly go and speak to the guy in the brown jacket. Let the conversation go through with the guy. Just sort of go through the conversation. He'll tell you again, start talking about the thing before.
What exactly are you doing with this?
Let the conversation play through. This time we're not quick enough. And the little guy in the green manages to get out. That's fine. Next time should be absolutely fine. Let the conversation sort of play through again. Once the conversation's played through and we're back into the same sort of sequence, we need to go talk to Miche again, the lady in the green dress, and we need to convince her to put the blanket on the guy's head again. So just come back over again. Yeah, let's put the blanket on the green little guy's head. I accidentally talked to him. You don't need to talk to him, you need to talk to her. Talk to her, and that will get him to put the blanket on his head again. Once you've done that, you need to go and talk to the guy in the jacket again, and we need to get him to go and change the reward on the slot machine. So he'll send him over there to go and do that. He'll slowly ride over there, and there'll be a little bit of a cutscene where he will do that for you. So let the cutscene play through, and you'll see that he's become a jackpot winner. So he'll climb out, climb back in, and when the blanket comes off, he'll think he's a winner. Well, he is technically a winner, because he's got the dough. He'll then have a cutscene, and they'll end up going to the shower room, the toilets, where we will steal his clothes. So that happens, they walk off, we end up outside the bathroom. When he comes out with no clothes, we're going to head in and take them.
He has to help us.
Come, my lovely. I have another
So the conversation play through,
like to demonstrate.
bit of a dialogue play through. Once that's happened, we can then go in the bathroom and take his clothes. So just head into the bathroom here. And that will automatically put us in his clothes.
Tight in the shoulders, but at least it doesn't reek of
Okay, once we've got the clothes on, we can head back into the main hall. And we need to go and speak to the guy by the elevator, the big guy from earlier in the game. He's going to ask us a question about Don and what his favourite number is. Not Don, the other guy. He's going to ask us what his favourite number is. Now, when we speak to him, you'll see what I mean. So we're going to go over and speak to him. And he's going to ask you what his favourite number is. By a decimal or something like that. Now, the answer is behind you on the big screen above your head. There's two answers. You just need to try and work out which one it is. So in my case, he asked me a specific question. I worked that out, and the answer was actually 8. Now you see these two answers behind, 12 and 8. The correct answer for me was 8. I'm not sure if that will be the correct answer for you. But just try and work out the puzzle, the question, and once you do, it'll be one of the two numbers above your head. Once you've chosen the right answer, again it was 8 for me, it will let you into the elevator. Try to ask you to do it again, but obviously we don't. Tell him that we know him and he'll let us in. So in we go. Once we get to the top, we see another one of our old friends, the guy from the cafe with the mop. He's found his long lost love and he's thinking about getting a ticket. Now we need to go and speak to him and convince him to buy one. So once we're ready, we just need to head over and speak to him. He doesn't look the same with the suit on, does he? So we're going to have a conversation with him.
Celso Flores, what are you doing in Hector Lamont's waiting room?
And I choose some options. Now I think the correct one to sort of hurry it along is to tell him about the adventure that we've had. First of all, you need to tell him that you're his travel agent. You can choose the same options as me, but I think there's a bit of a quicker way. But basically, you just need to go through the questions. Tell me that you're his travel agent, and that will sort of trigger the next part of the conversation. You could have done that in the last one part, I believe, but it's really up to you if you want to know a little bit more about his wife and what happened between then and then. Tell him that you work for Hector, and he's sent you to ask him some questions. And he's telling you that he's thinking about buying one of the tickets, but he hasn't come to his decision yet. Get through the conversation and try and convince him to buy the ticket. You can choose a few options here, or just follow along with mine. So I'm just going to let it play through so you can see which ones I chose. But you can have a bit of a play around. Again, this is a main story, so you can't really get it wrong. If you do, you can just start the conversation again until you get it right. Or just play through the same questions that I did. I believe if you chose the option that was below that option that I just chose, that would have been a quicker way to get the conversation over done. You just want to tell them about your problems. Because when you start talking about your problems, you then tell them about the adventure that you've been on and how difficult and peril the adventure was. He doesn't want to go through the same thing as you, so he's happy to buy the ticket. But anyway, so we tell him that we've got problems. You could have done this earlier than me, because the option was available a little bit earlier. They'll have a bit of a natter saying they don't really want to hear them. And then we're just going to go down to, I just got back from a vacation.
Actually, I just got back from quite an adventure myself, so...
Well, I'm sure you've seen flying spiders.
Once he
and flaming
discovers
beavers, but trust me, it
how
gets
difficult
worse.
this vacation
See, I'm
actually
to the edge
was,
of the world
he's happy
and
to buy
back.
the tickets.
I had
So that
no
triggers the
idea
next part of the game,
land
the next part of the
dead was so
scene.
fraught with peril.
Now, how much would you pay just to
There's a bit more of a
spin the whole
dialogue,
thing?
and then they should go into the office.
Let us blow our nest egg.
Once they go into the office, it should trigger the next part of the level.
Mr. Lamans, we've
So there he is, the big guy himself.
Excellent, excellent.
Bit of dialogue, they'll go in.
Changed your mind,
He
eh?
thanks us and asks him to meet
Actually,
somewhere.
it was your agent over there.
Of course, he's one of my best. Well,
Eventually.
come on in, let's chat, shall we?
So we kind of just have to wait for him to come out and say something. I'm not sure if it was because I didn't move there. I can't remember. Maybe try and move to start the dialogue. And then once the dialogue sort of goes through, it will cut to a different area. We'll be on the roof over here. Same place as before. Once you're here and you're in your little suit, just go up the ladder. So just go through the leg there, just by the shoe. Then we need to go up the ladder onto the roof.
Hello? Pigeons? Friends?
Once we're on the roof, we need to go over to where the gargoyle is, over by the hand. So go over to the right over here by the hand. We need to climb up. And we need to get our bone grinder out. There's a bit of a crack there next to the red part, as you can see. So what we need to do is we need to take out our bone grinder. So when you're ready to take out your bone grinder,
Not picking that up.
you can click on it. It starts a bit of a dialogue, but you don't really need to do that. Take out your bone grinder and just continue to use it on this part, and eventually you'll use it enough that it'll disappear. Just keep pressing on it. Just keep pressing on it. Once you've done it so many times, as I mentioned, he will put it away. There we go. Put it away. Now you need to use the flower stuff on it. I always forget what it's called, but this stuff in the green tin, the flower tin, use that on it. It will sprout flowers and break the stuff. Like break the gargoyle. That'll make the big sign fall down and create a bridge for us to get across to the other roof. So just go up the ladder and that'll trigger a cutscene. Once we're over the other side and the cutscene's over, we'll end up here. Just getting outside the car. There'll be a little bit of a cutscene and dialogue. Once that's over, we need to head up into the greenhouse at the top of the hill to meet our fate.
What?
You know, you really have bad taste in men.
No, I have a taste for really bad men. There's a difference.
So let the dialogue play through, then head up the hill. You can pretty much head up the grassy area as well, or head up the path. You can pretty much walk up all of it. So wherever you like to walk up, just walk up. But you need to be heading up to the right on top of the hill where the greenhouse is, or the glass building, whatever you want to call it. Head up to the top, and with your controls, once you manage to get to the top, enter. Once you're inside, you'll get shot. There'll be a cutscene, you're being shot in the cutscene.
Well, you're half right.
Oh, Manny, so cynical. What happened to you, Manny, that caused you to lose your
Well, you should
sense
get
of
shot eventually. There we go. Once you're lying on the floor and you're getting sprouted, we need to quickly switch, open our inventory and pull out the nitrous oxide, or the... It's not nitrous oxide, is it? I keep saying that. The nitrogen, no? The freezy stuff. Liquid nitrogen. Take out that and freeze the flower. That should stop us from dying. Snap that off, it should do it itself.
Gracias.
And we're alive. Once that's over, we're going to head back towards the bottom of the car.
Come on.
The bottom of the hill to the car, should I say. So just head over to the car. And go into the back and have a little conversation with the head. Once that's over and the cutscene's finished and whatever's happened, come over to the briefcase. Open the briefcase and that should let out a little slip, which goes over to the little flowery head over here. We're going to go over to that. So once you've opened the briefcase, come over here and click on this. Should pick that up. Now we need to head back up to the top of the hill and behind the greenhouse, the glass house. So just head back up to the top of the hill. With the ticket. Don't forget to pick up the ticket from the red flowers. Once you've got the ticket, head to the top of the hill. Go around the back of the greenhouse. So head around. Once we get to the other side, the ticket should leave our hand and show us where the body is. Once the body is revealed, we should get the key for the car. So there it is, body revealed. We can pick up the key. Once we pick up the key, we just need to head back to the car. So pick up the key, turn around, head back down the hill. The best you can with these controls. Once you get to the bottom of the hill, head to the boot. So the trunk of the car, whatever you want to call it, boot, trunk, back end, space, the final frontier, whatever you like to call it. Just go around the back of the car and open it with the key. This way you should get a gun with plenty of ammo.
Ah, yes. Lots of ammo.
Take out the gun.
Freeze.
Have a little bit of dialogue. And then head over to this barrel over here that was at the bottom of the screen.
Freeze, Hector.
And we need to go to the actual bottle where the light is. So move over under the light.
Yeah, you heard me.
Once you're under the light, press the gun. Make sure you got the gun out. Press it on that. And that should fire these darts into that water tank, which is at the bottom of the hill, at the bottom of the pipe. That was on the bottom of your screen. You should be able to find it pretty easily. I know I cut a little bit out there, which you didn't see me walk over to it. But you just need to walk over to it and fire your gun into it. Once you've done that, it should trigger a cutscene. Head to the top of the hill to finish the cutscene off. So put your gun away and head to the top of the hill.
That doesn't sound good.
When you get to the top of the hill,
I can't leave.
you just need to walk over to the door. I get it wrong and walk to the side. You see a little bit of animation going on the side. But we need to head to the door and click on the door. That'll start a new animation. So there's the animation, and we see an explosion of flowers and etc, etc. Door starts to peel open, and we know that the big guy is done for. And that is the end of the game. Achievement unlocked the right way. We did the achievement using the tank controllers the whole way. So well done on that, because I know it was an absolute nightmare for doing it myself. It'll be a cutscene. Since you played this far, you might as well watch it. Watch the cutscene, you'll end up back in the station. There'll be another bit of a dialogue where the guy shows the tickets to the guy. Shows that he's got a ticket. There's a conversation with Glottis.
You know I can't go with you. I'm a spirit of the land.
So once that cutscene's over, we'll get the Year 4 achievement, which is the second from last achievement of the game, and that will start the credits. Now we should get another achievement here for getting every other achievement. At this point you should have every achievement bar one. If for any reason it doesn't pop like it doesn't for me, as you can see there, what we need to do is we need to press start and open up the game. So once we do this, we can press start, get down to Grim Fandango Remastered and press quit. So we quit out the game, and then we need to reload the game. And just as it loads in, it should give us that final achievement. That's 1,000 for 1,000, guys. That's 100% achievement completion. So congratulations, you have got the full game done. Hopefully you did anyway. If this helped you guys, don't forget to give us a sub. We're very grateful for all the support we get. We hope we helped you get the 1,000 for 1,000. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Boss Fight Gaming. You lose. Game over.